Hello, this is Tim Dupree with TLD APA Videos. I was wanting to try something new and do a little commentary. So on the first rack, I make the 8-ball, which gives me a win. Nice to start off a game like that. The way I hit that 8-ball rack was just with straight bottom. And I try to hit the second ball as full as I can. Not necessarily real hard. Here I am talking to Beverly, who I just done a video for earlier that night, and she's wanting information on how to get that video, and I tell her to go to YouTube and put in her name and put in 8-ball pool, and it should come up for her. So anybody that I record during the match, just put in your name and APA 8-ball or 9-ball and your video should come up. Okay, on the second rack here, I made the solid in the side pocket. I was reminded I needed to put a mask on while I'm at the table, and that's what I did. I put it on just like the owner put hers on, over my chin, which kept me compliant. So analyzing the table, all I had was a straight in shot on the 2, but I needed to move it down so I can have an angle on my 1 ball. And I got that. So I got a real nice angle so I could move myself up for my next shot. Can't really squeeze inside those stripe balls. I really don't want to. What I want to do is use the red stripe ball to stop my cue ball for my 5, and that's what I was looking at the whole way. Natural angle brought me there. So now I'm seeing I need to get rid of that problem with my 3-ball next to the stripe ball. So I back up the cue ball using this other stripe to stop the cue ball, which left me real good to make the 3-ball in the corner pocket. So I shoot that with top, and the cue ball caroms off the stripe ball, which brought it out higher above the 10-ball. Only problem I have here is I'm a little bit straight on the 4-ball. I would like to have a little bit more angle where the cue ball is going into the 8, or if I could keep from hitting the 8 and make the 4-ball straight down, I could use a 6-ball to go off the 11-ball in the side pocket. I got neither one of those options available to me, so I'm going to have to try to create something, which, as you will see, it didn't work out so well. I make the 4-ball, but when I hit the 8-ball, it hits the 6-ball and leaves me snookered. When I'm trying to hit a ball, I like to try to take the easiest path. I could clear past the 8 to hit the 6, and also I don't have a shot to make the 6 in the corner, but I did want to try to move that 6 over by the corner, possibly block one of his balls, but I did none of that either. I just got the 6 by the corner. So my opponent comes up to shoot. His name's Buhl. He's a very good shooter. He's also a skill level 7. And one thing you don't want to do is leave yourself 1 ball on the table and an open table for a skill level 7, and a shot when he comes to the table. He has 2 shots. He has a combo in the side or a straight in the corner. He chooses a straight in the corner, which is fine. Now here he could have made the 11 in the corner and tried to bump into the 9 on the short rail, but instead he chose a smart path and hit this shot with a little bit of stun, which brings it a little bit over to the right to give him a little bit straighter shot on the 11 so he doesn't have to use the cue ball to run into other balls. When you get to this point and you got open balls on the table, you really don't want to move balls around. You just want to pick patterns that will get you to the next ball. Now when you're doing these patterns, you don't want to try to get too close to your work, because otherwise you can be too close to your work to where you don't have a shot. You want to try to get within about a foot, maybe 2. So all he does here is shoot the stripe in the corner and stop the cue ball. Good job. Now here he can go 1 rail up or he can go 2 rails out, back towards the center of the table. Me personally, I would have probably done 2 rails out, but that's just me. It's a little easier to control the speed when you're doing 2 rails instead of 1. And also you would have been going into the zone of the 14 doing 2 rails. Now here he's on the 14. I probably would have shot this with just a little bit of draw to stay below that other stripe for a shot on the side pocket for the 11, or I'd have shot the 10. Here he missed it. He missed it really bad. He missed it so bad that he left me without a shot, to where all I have as an option that I can see is a 2-rail kick. Now I could possibly try to, well, I could have went 2 rails shooting towards the kitchen, which I've done that a lot. I'm pretty good at 2-rail kicks, but on this one I did not have a good judgment. I was trying to miss that 10, but I hit it. I hit the 10 so good that I hit my ball in, but in the APA, when you use a stripe, your opponent's ball, to make your ball, that's considered a foul. And the opponent gets ball in hand, which he took it because he likes to play that way in the APA. So now he's going to shoot the 14 in the corner. Which leaves him a nice little angle to get back up to the center of the table. All you really need here is a little bit of right spin. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And a good smooth stroke, and it'll bring you right to the center of the table. Very nice. That's how I'd like to leave it. He could even went a little further if he wanted to, but right there is fine. He didn't want to go too much shorter than that. Otherwise, he could really leave himself in a awkward situation. All right, here he's got a nice straight in on the 8 ball. And that's rack 2 down. So it's 1-1. Mike's breaking the next rack. He makes a stripe. Now he's got a really nice layout here. The only problem he has is the stripe that's next to my solid 1 ball up in the corner by where he is standing. he doesn't really want to shoot that ball that's next to that stripe because that's his only chance of breaking that ball out. He's looking at it and there's really no good path there to break that stripe out. So he's going to have to work the cue ball to where he can get to a path to that area of the table where he can use the stripe as a breakout ball. So he keeps looking at that area of the table. If you notice that, he's trying to find a way to get back over there so he can make his 14 and break out that 13. He's going to have one shot at it. So he's got to get on that ball good. He can't get on it on the wrong side, otherwise he'll have more problems. So what he's doing is he's hitting this with a little bit of low right. Brings that up to the other table. Very nice shot. Notice he used 2 rails to get to that ball instead of just 1. He's off the rail. He can cue on the cue ball good. He's pretty straight on that 14. He could make that 14 just straight in, but he still wouldn't be able to break out that 13. So what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to carry him off his stripe ball to make the 14 in the corner, which that's what he does. Now, probably what I'd have done differently on that situation is not hit it so hard, because then I don't want my cue ball going back down there and possibly getting into another cluster. I want to hit it just hard enough so I can make the 14, which would probably still keep the other stripe in good open area so it can have several pockets to be made into. Okay, here he's not the favorable position, so he's going to have to try to make something happen. He gets on his ball, but it really doesn't help him a whole lot because his 8 ball doesn't have a clean pocket to get to. He looked at it, he talked to me about it, and he said that he felt he could get it by that 2 ball. I didn't see it from my angle, from where I was sitting, but I wasn't going up to the table and looking at it real close. So what he's going to try to do is make the stripe ball in the corner pocket, which you can see it clean, and just get into the open area between the 6 and the 5 so he can shoot the 8 ball. Important thing is you don't hit this too hard because you don't want to land too far. You don't want to actually go past the 5 and the 1. You want to just come out to about the center of the table. If you can, center of the table would be about perfect. But he traveled a little bit long, but luckily he hit the 5. Now I don't really like this shot because you're shooting kind of a back cut and you're trying to miss the ball to go into the pocket. He marks that pocket anyway. I didn't feel it was going to go. I didn't see it going from my angle, from where I was sitting, which was basically looking at it at the angle the camera's looking at it at. Now, he missed it. So now I've got an open table, and I should be out. And most of the time I would be out from this situation because the balls are pretty open. The A ball is blocking a lot of my shots, but he left me a good enough shot to where I can just act like this is a 1 pocket game and back the cue ball up for the 3 in the same pocket. And I don't need that 7 down there, so I've got a good angle to bump that 7 with it after making a 3, and I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just hitting it a little bit below center, just a tad, bumping that 7. Now I've got clear skies. All I gotta do is make the 7 straight in up in the corner. And I got my 6 on the side, and I got a little angle so I can travel up table. And my next shot that I wanted to do was the 5 in the side, but I fell a little bit short. I misjudged the speed on the shot. What I should have done is put a little bit more stroke into it and actually gauged to go long on that shot, so even if I didn't have a straight in, I could still had good options after that shot. But because of that, I had to shoot the 2, and I could shoot the 5 in the side or the 5 in the corner, but I chose the 5 in the corner because I don't let the cue ball loose that way. And anything weird can happen if you're shooting the side pocket. You let that cue ball loose. I really didn't want this angle, but I have it, and I should have done straight right or top right instead of bottom right. That was my mistake. Straight right or top right would have got me easy shape on that 8, but since I did bottom right, it hit the rail too low, or too high, I guess you could say, and made it go at an angle closer to the pocket, which I did not. I'd much prefer the angle to where it hit that first diamond before the pocket and come out 2 rails back towards the side area. But anyway, I had to try to cut it in, which made it a little bit scary for me because there is a scratch in that shot if you try to cut it in that corner from that angle. So I was fortunate that both the balls left the side, that the shot left him a bank. Now, a lot of people try to hit these banks hard, but really what you need to do is you need to hit them about a lag speed, because if it misses, you want to hit it too short. And you don't want to hit it so hard that it can actually go back across the bank. You want to make it to where you hit it, if it hits the pocket short, it only bounces about halfway across to where it could be landed on the bottom rail and leave him a tough bank shot, or at least a bank shot. But as it was, he left me a pretty easy cut shot into the corner. I really wasn't worried about scratching, even though it looks like it's going to scratch. It's my break. I almost scratched inside. Okay, on this shot, I really only had, since I was solids, and I got to take solids because APA and APA, you have to take what you make. The 6 ball doesn't go straight in the side. All I have is a combo shot to the 6-3 combo. I was looking at that shot, and then I'm thinking the cue ball is going to also travel down table and maybe mess up that cluster. I hit it hard so that it'll stay on that tangent line, but I could only hit top. I missed the 3, I make the 6, and I only leave myself one more shot because the 10 ball's down in the corner, keeping my 3 solids from being able to be pocketed. So now I've got to create a shot to where I make something and mess up that rat's nest that's down at the bottom of the table. So I'm looking at back cutting the 4. It nudged the 8. Got a little love nudge. Went in the pocket. Okay, here I got, the only shot I really have is the 1 ball in the side. And I've got to cut this super thin. Then I'm looking at, okay, I've got to have a shot after this, so I'm looking at coming back down and clearing that pocket that his stripe is covering. And hopefully I'll stay down there, but nope, it just falls it in right afterwards. So now my opponent has ball in hand. He's got a couple of little problems. I'd probably shoot that stripe that's by the blue ball up here in the top corner. And that's what he's doing. The 14 goes past the 2. Looks like he got a little scared of it. Let off on his stroke there. So I get a second chance at the table. So I got a clear shot on the 7. And I want to stop it, but I go a little bit forward. I didn't really want that. I wanted to stop it. But I'm pretty straight on the 3, but I have a little bit to where I can cheat the pocket, hit it with low right, come back 2 rails for the 2. So I could make that 1 ball, but might be a little tricky getting from the 2 to the 8. I like the pattern from the 1 to the 8 a lot better. So one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to hit that stripe by the 8 ball, so I'm just hitting this soft so it comes off that long rail and back over close to where I'm already at with the cue ball. Preferably I'd want to be off the rail, but ended up on the rail, which takes away a lot of what I can do with the cue ball. If I'm off the rail just 2 inches, this is a much different shot. So I'm trying to force it, and whenever I'm hitting it hard, your accuracy goes down. And in my case, it goes way down. So here he is. He could have just shot the stripe in the upper corner up here, but he wanted to shoot that combo, which I love it when my opponents want to shoot a combo over just a regular shot, because anything can happen in a combo shot. But Mike's shooting real good this night. He feels good about his combos, so he goes for it. And it goes right in there. The only problem is with that shot, you got to really look at where the balls are going when you're shooting a combo. To make that shot, he tied up another shot, which was the 8 ball. So now he's got a problem with the 8 ball. And even if you could run out these 3 balls, you still got to mess with that 8 ball. And really, you don't want to shoot that shot because that could be a good breakout ball for the 8 ball. But he tried to force it and ended up scratching, which is not the worst thing in the world to do, but giving me ball in hand is not advisable because I can really work an angle to hit that 8. The only problem is I'm not sure what type of shot I'll have left. I really don't like to have to break out my last ball and be that ball I'm shooting. If you want to break out balls, you want to have an insurance shot, because I'd have to hit this really good to stay on top of that 8 and move his ball out of the way to have a straight in shot on the 8 in the corner. I'm trying to do that when I shoot this shot. But instead, it leaves me a really, really, really tough bank shot into the corner pocket. This shot can be made, but not by me today. I want to put left-hand English on it and try to make it in the corner, but there is a scratch shot here in the other corner. And that's what I was worried about. I got lucky and left him bad. He can't shoot the ball up in the bottom corner by the 8. He kind of hooked a little bit to make the 9 ball up in the other corner. He's got some. He's got a chance to make it, but you got to manipulate that cue ball a little bit on the shot. So he's got a little bit of angle on the stick. He's wanting to do a little masse into the ball to try to make it so he doesn't overcut it. Hit that kind of hard. I know why he hit it hard. He wanted to make sure that cue ball didn't go out too far. He wanted to make it come back to that rail to leave me a tough shot in case he missed, which is what he did. I felt pretty good about making this shot, but I hit it a little bit too long. If I hit it too hard, I have a risk of scratching in that corner pocket. And you don't want to hit that shot with low and hard, because if you do, you're going to scratch. So you got to be aware of all that when you're trying to bank a shot like that. This is not a hard run out at all. I would shoot the 9 first, because the 8 ball is easy to get to from just about any type of shot you're going to have on that next ball. This one's just natural roll. See, he's shooting center ball. And leaves him a nice little shot on the 8. One thing you don't want to do in pool is try to do too much with the cue ball if you don't have to. All right. Here we go. Rack number 4 or 5. Michael made a solid on the break, and that's what he don't have any options. He said maybe trying to bank the 6 in the side. Oh, wow. That was a good try. I didn't see that shot, but he did. Okay. Now I got work to do here. His 7 ball's tied up by my stripe, and I can use a stripe to hit into the 7 to make the other stripe, like a 3-ball combo. So I'm not too concerned about trying to break that out. The ball that's on the side pocket by his 6 ball, I'm looking at doing a bank shot on that one, because I don't have any good breakout balls by that area, but I can bank it into the side. So here I could have shot, I had a couple of options to shoot. I wanted to get this ball out of the way because it can be a problem ball to get to. Now here, I did this wrong. I should have just left that 7 in stripe by itself, make the 14 straight in the corner. But I tried to carry him off the 15 to break that out. And the reason I did that is because I knew that his 6 ball really didn't have a good pocket to go to. So here I was hoping that he would try to shoot that 1 into the 7, which that's what most people would do. But he realizes that that's keeping my other stripe ball from having a pocket. So he just clears his 7 ball out of the way and leaves me with no good shot. So what I'm looking at, I need to clear a 7 ball out of that pocket. And try not to leave him a good shot afterwards. So I'm looking at drawing into that 7. And when I draw into the 7, I hit the right side of the 7 to where it spins underneath the 1 and leaves him no shot. Kind of lucky, but not really, because it's kind of what I was planning on doing. It just came out a lot better than what I figured it would. Now here I know what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to come off the 15 and carry him into the corner underneath the 15. Well, I thought that's what he's going to try to do, but obviously he had some other idea. Okay, so he's left me easy shot, make my ball in the corner. I'm looking at where I want to put my cue ball. I really want to try to attack that 9 next. All right, that's the shot I wanted to try to make that 9. I'm really good at these bank shots here. And I'm trying to make that 9, put a little bit of top left on it so the cue ball will come over to the other side of the table. I know that I'm running into his balls, and I didn't expect to make both his balls in the upper corner, but they win anyway. Didn't need those balls on the table anyway. It just caused another lot of fluster. So here, I didn't take my time, think about what I was doing. I thought I could get around that too, but I ran right straight into it and snookered myself. So what I'm trying to do is figure out a kick shot. And I'm looking at a 2-rail kick into my strike ball. And you know, it's really hard to judge sometimes on these bar tables. But I'm wanting to hit it and make something happen. Something almost happened, you know. Well, that's a pretty tough shot. He's up close to the rail. Long shot down to the corner, which is not, this is a missable shot, so I'm not unhappy about the result because it only left him a shot on that one ball. He has no good options but to shoot that one ball. But, you know, he is a skill level 7 and a good shooter, so he sinks this ball and leaves him a nice little layout to easily run out from this point. Here he can just shoot the 2 in the corner, 5 in the side, 8 in the corner. Or you can back it up, shoot the 5 in the other corner. Either way's good. You know, just whatever you like to do, what shot you like to do, you know, as long as you just stay in line for your next shot, you're all right. Very good cue ball control there. Easy shot for the 8 ball in the corner. I'm getting my quarters out. Ready to start the next rack. Okay, rack 6, he's breaking. This time he dry broke. And here I don't know what happened, how I did this, but I come to the table, I'm looking at the basically it's a 5-ball combo. I know I'm wanting to choose solids because the stripes have a lot of work to do. I'm looking at this combo, seeing if I can make it go by hitting the 5-ball after I make the 1. So the shot, sometimes the shots are so easy that whenever you just pop them in there, it don't take the path that you want it to take, and I bobble it in the corner. Now, if I was in this position right here, I probably wouldn't be trying to do that 5-ball combo. I'd probably be using a different path to break out that cluster. Like if you can get the cue ball down on that short rail, you can break out them balls pretty easily. Shooting off that 1 ball, you got the 6 ball in the side pocket, you can use low right to break out some of that. You could even shoot the 7 ball first and then just back it up a tad, and it gives you a natural angle shooting the 6 on the side to break out that cluster over there. So he goes for that, and we're still open table, so I'm coming to the table with a different look than what I had before. Now I have two solids around a stripe, but I still like the stripes. Getting rid of this problem area. You want to try to get rid of those problem areas as soon as you can. Here I got a shot of the 14 in the side. I can shoot 9 in the other side too if I wanted to. I can go off the 7 or make it clean. But what I'm looking at is the problem I have over there, because he's got his one ball in the corner and it's blocking all my balls from being able to be made. So what I'm doing here is I got a little angle to force my cue ball that direction. So all I do here is hit it with a little bit of low. I don't want to draw it too much because then I can miss everything. And I really didn't help myself. So now my only shot here is to make this 9 in the side and try to make that cue ball go into the 1 ball, make the 1. If I make that 1, then I have a natural angle to get to my next strike. But cue ball goes over to the rail and hooks me. I can't even hit my stripe that's on that bottom rail. None of my plan worked. I'm sitting here complaining about it, which does no good, doesn't change the shot any. So I'm going, well, ain't really any good safes here. So I'm gonna go for trying to make the 15 up in the corner pocket. So the way I'm aiming this is I'm actually aiming like on a mirror system. I'm aiming the 15 like it's going towards a pocket with it on a table that's right next to that table up in the other corner. And it's called the mirror system. So I'm trying to gauge where that pocket would be. And it's very tough because I'm shooting on top of the ball. And I still get pretty dang close. Pretty happy with my effort, but not real happy with the result. That's just how pool goes sometimes. So Michael comes to the table. And he's got to be loving what he's seeing. I know I would. Now I'd have probably hit that a little bit lighter. You don't have to put any power in that, just a little bitty soft stroke on it, and that cue ball would have stayed down there close to the rail and separated from that 3 ball. But he didn't hurt himself any. Here I probably would go ahead and shoot that 2 ball. If you're not worried about missing any more balls, this is a shot you do right here. And you just tap the 7 ball. Or you can make the 4 ball. There's so many ways you could run these out. You do the I'd probably go here. I'd probably go 7538. You want to shoot the 3. Okay. I'd probably just shoot the 7 ball in the side. Just make sure the cue ball doesn't come up past the side rails. Okay. If you're going to shoot that, since it wanted to go to the right, I would probably put top on it and let that cue ball bounce off the long rail out, and then you'd have a better angle off that 7. But see, you got pretty straight. Wrong side of it. Had to take a tough cut on the 8. He dogged the 8. Good for me. Well, this is pretty self-explanatory on what to do here. You need to draw this cue ball back. One thing you want to be careful of is you don't want to draw it back with so much power that it can draw straight back into that corner pocket, because you are straight in on the corner. So I cheat the pocket a little bit so it grazes the 8. And then it also helps put the little brakes on it coming back. Here, some people would try to hold it, but you can go ahead and put a stroke on it, let it come off the top rail. And easy shot. I could take the corner or the side, no scratch either way. I choose the side because it's closest pocket to the ball, and it's a pretty big pocket from this angle. Alright, rack 7. 3-3. Start off nice. Make a stripe in the solid. 2 stripes in the solid. So I got my choice of what I want to shoot. I really want to shoot the stripes, but I don't have any good shots in the stripes. So I'm going to have to take the solids. And I don't have a lot of good shots on the solids except the duck is in the corner, so I'm going to shoot that. I could shoot the 2 if I wanted to, but why shoot a harder shot when there's an easy shot there and you can use it to play shape? Now here I messed up. I didn't put enough stroke on my cue ball. But when I shoot this 4 ball up in the corner, I let off on my stroke. You can see it when I shoot. I let off on my stroke. Cue ball just dies and comes out not too far from the 2. I should have had at least a foot of distance from that 2. See, I let off on the stroke there. I was scared to hit it. I'm frustrated with myself right here. Really what I should have done is just shoot the 7 ball. But I tried to shoot the 2. I was too close. An even double hit, fouled on the shot, which made it even worse. Now he's got a really nice table to run here. Really no problems at all. He's probably going to leave the strap that's by the side pocket as his key ball for the 8 ball. So all he's got to do is run these 4 balls and leave the cue ball a little bit up table for a nice shot in the side. And then when he does that, he'll naturally have a good shot for the 8 ball. He drove this back a little bit too far. He didn't want to be that far back, because now if he tries to make the cue ball, make the stripe in the side pocket straight in, then it's going to force the cue ball in an area that he don't want to be. And he does something very smart here. He shoots the bank to hold the cue ball. And it was beautiful. Now all he has to do is back this cue ball up. He doesn't want to be short. He wants to back it long if he backs it. So he draws it. And that's nice. Nothing wrong with that shot right there at all. Now, just to avoid scratching, you just don't hit it hard. You just smooth stroke, good follow through, and you just let the cue ball slowly roll up to it. Nice. Okay. So now he's straight in on the 8. And now Michael's on the heel. Okay. Rack number 8. Michael makes a stripe. Doesn't really have any good shots. He's looking at maybe trying to cut it in the other corner. He gets lucky. All right. So here he is. He's got problems. You know, the 9 ball doesn't have a pocket, but he can use that stripe that's by the side as a break ball for that stripe that's by them 2 solids. I'd be shooting the 14. I'd leave that ball with him. I know what he's trying to do here. He was trying to make this 15 ball just be over here close to the corner pocket. I don't really think he wanted to make that 15 ball because he wasn't playing shape on any other ball. So now he's forced to break his balls away from my solids, which I like because he really don't have a pocket for his 9 ball. You notice how he left the cue ball. He really didn't leave me any good shots either. Just the 7 inside. They should have been marked as safety, even though he made that ball. He wasn't trying to make it. All right. So, here was my line of thinking right here, and maybe y'all can comment. Really didn't want to shoot that 6 ball. I didn't want to break that 10 ball out of that cluster right there because his other ball had a shot. His other ball was open now. So if I open up both his balls and then something weird happens when I try to break out this cluster, I'm not to the advantage right now. Right now, I'm actually to the advantage on this table, believe it or not, even though I have 6 balls on the table, 7 balls on the table. Then he has 2. It's really, I'm favored to win this game. The problem I have is my 2 ball, which is down by the strike ball. I'm not confident that I can pocket that, get that 2 past that 9 and pocket the ball. So that's what's leaving me reservations on breaking out his strike because I still have a ball tied up if I break out his ball. I don't plan on running these balls out. Until I can free up that 2 ball. So what I'm trying to do is work an angle to where I can break out that 2 ball. And I'm about to do it right here by just making a 7 ball, not really shooting very hard. Now I'm going to shoot the 6 and send the cue ball back down to the bottom rail, but I want to try to hit the ball before I got to the bottom rail, but it worked out where I hit the bottom rail first and the cue ball hit underneath them, which is not what I wanted to do. I'm hitting this with a lot of power because I didn't want to just hit the balls lightly, because if you hit them lightly, a lot of times you end up snookered. So I want to hit these with a little bit of authority. Okay. Well, I accomplished what I wanted to do, except I didn't have a shot on anything after I did it. So I could have back cut this 1 in the corner, but I was trying to leave it to where he was forced to either shoot the 10 or leave him snookered on both balls. Forcing him to shoot the 10 wasn't bad because the 2 kind of has his other strike covered to where he has to get on it really good to have a shot. And the shot he has here, you don't really have a good path with the cue ball to get on that strike. At least I can't see one. If y'all can see one, leave a comment. So he's sitting here trying to figure out, what am I going to do here? How am I going to get on that 9? If I make the 10, what kind of shot am I going to have after this? And I'm looking at it, I don't know what kind of shot he's going to have. Okay. What he tried to do is he tried to use inside, but there are just too many balls on the table and too much traffic. So he was left with absolutely no shot. He has a kick shot. And even with a kick shot, there's not really good odds of making it in a pocket. And he really only has a one rail kick. So, here we go. One rail. All right, that's my shot. I like the table. Only little issue I have is a 3-ball because it's not out in space. I'm going to need to shoot that 3-ball in that side pocket over there. Didn't want to come down that far. I wanted to have my 3-ball next, but I can either shoot my 2-ball here or I can shoot my 1. I choose to shoot the 1 because I wanted to hold for the 3-ball. And shooting it slow like this, and even though I hit probably the right spot on the 1, what it did, it threw it into the short rail, and I knew that. I should have aimed a little bit more thinner on the shot. I didn't hit the wrong part of the ball. It just hitting it slow at that will cause it to throw into the short rail. So remember, when you're hitting a slow roll ball on a cut shot like that, to give it just a little bit more overcut so you'll make it, because it will throw when you're shooting slow like that. If I'd hit that in the right spot, same spot, but with a stroke, it'd went in the pocket no problem. Okay, Michael, he's going to try to cut this down the rail, which is a very tough shot from this angle. I'd have probably tried to do a cross corner bank, but you're also trying to hold that cue ball for a pocket in, for a shot on the 8, and you don't want it to go down table. So either way, if he'd have made it, he'd have been kind of in bad shape. So here, all we got to do is run these 3 balls out. Should be easy, shouldn't it? Like I said a while ago, when you got an open table and a 7, should be able to get out from here. But it's me shooting, and I'll find a way to mess it up. And I did right here. So, Mike has a nice little shot on the 9. He does have to put a little bit of draw on it, and just a tad bit of right. Not a lot of right, more draw than right, because you need that cue ball to come up table. And he hits this shot just perfect for a straight in shot on the 8. Nice shot, Michael. Well, we all know he can make this ball. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video, and this is something new I'm trying to do videos with commentary. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think about the commentary. This is my first time, I'll try to be better at it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
I did too, but